Our video for you. This one is looking at every team's top free agency signings since 2015. So yeah, every team have one player highlighted. Their stats on with them on that team might not have been not might not have been all on that contract originally signed. So contracts they put on all the stats they put on after they signed there. They left. If they signed there, left, signed another team, they came back eventually, and that counted those stats. So, and then also, I most pretty much every team at least has one honorable mention. I didn't put the stats for them, but I just put it there. Also, account so a couple rules. So like it kind of said if they let the team then came back, different time that one counts the stats, but also if they originally just like pretty much that, and then no undrafted free agents. Like no as the main guy. A couple teams I have them as honorable mentions, but I didn't put them as the main guys because yes, they were technically signed free agents, but they were also technically from a draft class, so I didn't include those as any of the main guys. But I do have a couple in honorable mentions. Yes, it started first off. The Arizona Cardinals have running back James Conner. He's been with them since 2021, and he's still there. So yeah, it was pretty much. I didn't put any elite just because special teamer, but he did. It was a good punter for them for a few years. Pretty much between him and Mike Ayupita. I just felt like I wanted to highlight a running back more, so I did that. And he's still with them, obviously, so he could put up even more stats. Yeah, his stats there were he had 3,668 rushing yards, 37 rushing touchdowns. He has had 157 catches for 1,254 receiving yards, 7 receiving touchdowns. So he's had some good years. He's been a great running back for them. We'll see how he does this year. I think it's still be good, but they might be giving more carries to Trey Benson. Yeah, they brought him over from the Steelers. He was great for them. So the honorable mentions are Andy Lee, punter, and Mike Upita, guard. Yeah, Upita, they brought him over. He just made the cut because he was signed in 2015, earlier. Wasn't been able to be honest at all. So yeah, that's it for the Arizona Cardinals. Now let's go to Atlanta Falcons. Another recent one that's still on his team. Got Jesse Bates, safety, right now in 2023, still there. That's a couple really good seasons for them. Brought him over from Bengals. He's been great. And then honorable mention is center Alex Mack. They brought him back. They brought him over from the Cleveland Browns back in 2015 or 2016. Came over from the third year. Yeah, he's a great center for them for a while. He was a big part of their O line to help them get to the Super Bowl. Yes, they lost it, but he did help them get there. Wasn't his fault that they blew a 25-point lead in it. But yeah, he was good for them for a while. Then so Bates' stats when he was been with Atlanta so far, he's had 234 total tackles, 151 solo, one sack, seven forced fumbles, and 10 interceptions. Probably have some pass deflections too, but for some reason I didn't put there. Let me look for a second. Yeah, I guess I forgot to put it on here, but he has had 21 total pass deflections so far with them this. So yeah, he's been great for them. Him and H.G. been really good in that secondary these past 2 seasons. See how he does next season now with them still. Now, next team, we got Baltimore Ravens, another team with recent signing here. He has had 1 year with them so far, but it was a great year. Got Derrick Henry running back to the Ravens. Yeah, like literally every honestly outside of he became the first running back in history to have over 1,900 rushing yards this season and not leave the lead in it. Because another free agency signing from this last season, Saquon Barkley, had over 2,000. Like that's crazy. Like he had a really good year. Him and Lamar Jackson were great together. Didn't put up much receiving yards as you see, but he's never been much of a receiving back. So yeah, yeah, it was great. Couple few honorable mentions for them. Safety Eric Weddle. He he's been retired for a few years now. He had some really good years for them though. Defensive guard Kevin Zeitler. He left them last offseason. Before he left, though, he was really good for them. Now with the Titans, so yeah. Then Mark Ingram, another running back, brought him over from the Saints before they got him. He was a career Saint. Yeah, him. He was a great mentor to like some of their young guys in the offense when he was there because they had a lot. Their offense was still relatively young. Those other guys that they have now, that are still been around for a while, or even younger than. Like, Demar was in his second season, I believe, when he first came over. Andrews was in his second season. So yeah, and also I know Ingram's running back, but also he was able to help mentor it. And safety Marcus Williams, he got released this offseason by them, but he did not have a good final year there. But he had a couple of good seasons before that, so I figure that's the point I was going to mention. He just didn't end it well there after the run over from the Saints. Yeah, a couple of former Saints signings. Ingram was a former Saint. So yeah, stats wise, in his 1 year with the Ravens so far, Henry has put up 1,921 rushing yards, 16 rushing touchdowns. Receiving wise, he had 19 catches for 193 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. I don't know why I put rushing touchdowns when I was receiving. Yeah, he had a great year. Most other seasons in NFL history, he would have led the league in rushing yards, but he didn't. Still had a really good year. So I'll be there again at least next season. He making it anyways, but he for sure submitted his Hall of Fame, like his chance to get in the Hall of Fame once he's retired. So yeah, now a guy that left them recently, but he had been with them for a while. But Bill's safety Micah Hyde. So yeah, they brought him in from 2017 from the Packers and left them in 2023. And he had some really good years there. Yeah, I'm assuming it's 417. I don't know. I put 4,117 tackles. Yeah, he is great for them. Like if you look on our mention, Jordan Poyer, that say other safety, they brought him in both the same off season. They were great signings. Felt like they both were great for them. I felt like Hyde had some better years than Poyer. Some with Hyde over him, but I could have gone Poyer too. He was good. So yeah, stat wise with them, he put up 417 total tackles, 298 solo, 1 sack, 16 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles. I don't know why he did. He also had 42 pass deflections to them. He had a lot of good years with them. He was a veteran like when Allen was young. So yeah, Peter mentions it was he wasn't there for long. He didn't do a ton, but he was your quarterback for Josh Allen. He helped end the super long playoff drought they had before he went there. Then he went to the Browns. Tyrod Taylor. Then I just kind of talked to him with safety for employer. Him and Mike Hyde were a really good safety duo for a few years. Then center Mitch Morris. He was like I believe they brought him over from the Chiefs when they signed him. He was great for them. He was good protector for Josh Allen for a few years before he went to Jaguars. Now he is currently still free agent, I believe. He had some good time there too. So now we got another somewhat recent signing. Got our first got another guy that is no longer on his team on a different team. The first time because I technically isn't on the Bills, obviously, but he's also retired. He's not on the team. So let's go Panthers. You got linebacker Frankie Lovu. He spent 2021 through 2023 with them. So he spent a few seasons with them, but he had some good seasons there. I don't know exact contract, but he did. He wasn't like big spending wise. So yeah, stats wise, he put her 279 total tackles, 168 solo, 14 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 1 INT. So it's good for them for a little bit. Still on the Commanders, good there too. So, yeah, and then honorable mentions: edge rusher Hassan Reddick, special outside linebacker, did a little of that too. Like if he stayed, like if he didn't do 1 year contract and immediately leave for the Eagles and have a great time there, he probably would have been the main guy. But he only spent 1 season there. He did have a good 1 year there. Yeah, led to him getting a big contract with the Eagles. No, he could have gotten a better contract, but didn't work out very well for him, honestly. So yeah, then receiver Brandon Thielen. They brought him in as a veteran on that offense. He's had a couple good seasons for them. He will be with them for probably at most one more season. I doubt. He'll probably either retire next season after next season or just leave for free agency because his contract is up. Yeah, he's great for them. So yeah, now got the Chicago Bears guy who left them a few years ago. He might be. I don't know if he's still in the Lions, but that's where he spent last season. I think he's free agent. Yeah, we got Allen Robinson, wide receiver for them from 2018 through 2021 with them. He was a great signing for them. Like his last year there, he didn't do a ton. Like him and Fields did have some struggles together, didn't do great. But for the most part, he is great for them with Mr. Trubisky and Justin Fields. He did not have very consistent quarterback play all the time there. He's still great. Stats wise, he put out 293 catches, 3,561 yards, and 18 touchdowns. Um, he was great there. And a few one of the few consistent effective players for them for a few years. Led to Rams, didn't do much in Steelers, but he was still good for them. Honorable mentions for them. They had the tackle Akeem Hicks. He had some good years. I feel like Allen Robinson was a little better at times. But Akeem Hicks, he was great. He was good for them. Him and Khalil Mack, they were scared together for a little bit. The linebacker TJ Edwards, signed him a couple seasons ago. Like they signed him and traded him. It's not the same off season. A lot of people thought um, Edmonds would probably do better. So far, Edwards has. So yeah, he's been great for them. They need to do a big contract. So yeah, like their top, like if I was doing trades in this video, like just top acquisition via trade or free agency, probably would be Khalil Mack because he was great for them, but he's acquired via trade, so he doesn't qualify for this. So yeah, that's it for the Bears. Next, we got the Cincinnati Bengals, a guy that is currently still on the team. He has requested a trade, so he may not be on them much longer. Got Cincinnati Bengals with edge rusher Trey Hendrickson. So he's been with them since 2021. Still on them. See if he and they're working on. They're making some progress extension, but hasn't signed anything. So see if he's still there next season. Run over from the Saints. He had one good year with the Saints, then they brought him in, and he's had a few good years now. He's had two back-to-back 17 and a half sack seasons. So yeah, stats wise, he has had 175 total tackles, 104 solo, 57 sacks, 11 forced fumbles, and 12 pass deflections. Like if it wasn't for how bad the rest of their defense was, you might have been considered. They might have been in conversation for defensive player of the year. Just their whole defense was just so bad. Like if your defense around you is that bad, you can't really get that much conversation. But he was great. Blake led the league in sacks. If not, he was right near the top. So, the honor mentions wise, they had cornerback Chidobe Awuzie. Yeah, he left for Titans last offseason. He was good for them. Got released by the Titans just recently, but yeah, he had some good years there. Then tight end Mike Gesicki, they signed him to a 1-year deal last offseason. He had a good year. Now they did good enough to get a 3-year extension, so he's there for the next 3 seasons. And then defensive tackle DJ Reader, another guy that left them last offseason for the Lions. It's good for them. Like it wasn't just them leaving, but like if they had was he a Reader stay, maybe their defense would have been bad. But yeah, they were good for them. They were definitely a lot worse when they left. I can tell you that. That's it for the Bengals. Now let's go to our second running back of this list so far. For the Cleveland Browns, it's running back Kareem Hunt. Yeah, he didn't do a ton for them stats wise, but the whole time there he's been somewhat of a running back committee with Nick Chubb, but had been getting the majority of the carries except for his last season in Cleveland when Chubb had got injured because then that brought him back. He still had some good times there. He was with them from 2019 to 2023. His last season there, he wasn't there all season because they brought him in I believe, starting week 3 because that's when Nick Chubb got injured and needed him because he was a free agent, but he hadn't signed anywhere. So stats wise, he put a 2,285 yards, 7 TDs, 147 catches, 1,057 receiving yards, and 7 receiving touchdowns. So yeah, like he didn't put up insane stats, but he was a good backup, like to give Nick Chubb some time off. He was great. So yeah, and they didn't have a ton of other um, notable guys. But I never mentioned center Ethan Pushik. Yeah, he's had some couple good seasons there, but he was insanely good. And then QB Joe Flacco. I didn't partially I didn't put him here just because he didn't he helped them get in the playoffs after losing Sean Watson for a year, but just wasn't a ton of stats put up there. But he did have a good one season for them, and then I don't know if he would have been able to save their season this last season, but they were a lot worse with the backup save this last season than him. So yeah, that's it for them. Next we have the Dallas Cowboys, a team that until this last season hadn't spent over 8 million a year on an outside free agent since 2015, and that last guy did not work out so well. So it was a huge amount because they have never spent a ton. Guy they brought back this offseason, but we're not counting that. But yeah, we got edge rusher Dante Fowler Jr. Originally spent a couple seasons for them. He did come back. He did re-sign with them this offseason after spending a year a little bit away. Yes, so yeah, stats wise, he had 40 total tackles, solo, 10 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 5 pass deflections. So yeah, he did straight for them. Yeah, we'll see how he does this next season with them. Like I kind of said before, there's a ton of options because they haven't spent a lot on free agents in the last 10 years. So yeah, our mentions wise got our edge rusher Alden Smith. They brought him in for 1 year. He had been out of the league for a little bit. He was pretty good, but then he left and then signed to lead the Seahawks, but he just had some off-field problems. But he was good for them for a year. The safety Malik Hooker, they brought him in a few years ago from the Colts. He's been all right, but I felt like Colorado did a little better those 2 seasons he was with them originally. So yeah, next we got AFC team. We got the Broncos. A guy who led them a couple seasons ago. We got safety Kareem Jackson. He spent 2019 through 2022 with them. He had a he had great good years with them. He was a great veteran in that secondary out because he was pretty old in this time there. After a long time. Yeah, he was great. Stats wise, we had 394 total tackles, 268 solo, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 6 INTs, and 22 pass deflections. And part of it was also just mentorship to some of the young guys. And I'm mentioned why is a guy is still on the team, defensive lineman Zach Allen. See if in a couple years maybe he'll put enough stats for me to put him over Kareem Jackson for now. Kareem Jackson over him. Kareem Jackson was great for him for a little bit. So yeah, next we got back to a guy that is still on the team. Got Lions with linebacker Alex Anzalone. In 2021 through now, he's still with them. At them, yeah. He came came over. He helped come turn around with Dan Campbell. He's been a great leader in that defense. He did miss part of his last season due to injury, but he came back late in the season. Yeah, he's been a great leader. Middle of that defense. He's been great. Stats wise, he has put up 395 total tackles, 254 solo, 6.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 2 interceptions, and 24 pass deflections. He's been a great leader after that defense with Dan when he came in with Dan Campbell. So I put him there. A few other mentions are running back David Montgomery. Yeah, him and Jameer Gibbs these last 2 seasons have been a great running back group. Like they've been a really good Sonic and Knuckles is what they are calling each other. So yeah. And then guard Grant Glasgow, they brought him in a couple seasons ago, then they re-signed him last season to a 3 year deal, I believe. He's been a good line for them. Another running back, we got running back Jamada Williams. They brought him over. Yeah, the 2 running backs that I have on here for them are 2 guys they brought in from the Rivals. Montgomery came from the Bears. Williams came from the Packers. Yeah, Williams has spent a ton of time with them, at least 2 seasons, but his last season there, a lot of touchdowns. He had a good year. kind of the cool guy. Like I remember, I think it was his last season where he dressed up in a Naruto headband one game. So he had a good time there, and now he is currently a free agent. So yeah. Next, we got our division rival, the Packers. Team I made a couple of great trades since I signed in this last season. He's their guy I had. Got the Green Bay Packers with safety Xavier McCanney. I think he spent this last season. He's been with them only 1 year. They've made some great ones like Smiths, Preston Sedarius. They're not related, but they have the same last name. Vonder Campbell had a few good years. Adrian Amos had some good years. Josh Jacobs is still with them. So yeah, it was close. So yeah, like they all were great signings by them. But I felt like Pro McKinney because he is still with them. Both of them are good stats. Dungeon Jacobs just I feel like safety was so more valuable. So that's why I went. But yeah, stats wise, he put up 88 total tackles, 60 solo, one sack, 8 interceptions, and 11 pass deflections the last year. He was really second in interceptions this last season. He had a great year. Still with them for a couple more seasons. So yeah. Now we got the Houston Texans with they're not in the same division, but the player half of them has had spent most of his career with their division rival. Got Houston Texans with edge rusher Daniil Hunter, another guy they signed last offseason. He had a great year. Him and Will Anderson were a really good edge duo this last season together. He'll be there at least one more season. He is a free agent next half season, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, stats wise, he put up 46 total tackles, 31 solo, 12 sacks, one forced fumble, 3 pass deflections. Yeah, he had a great year. So yeah, now I mentioned our tight end Dalton Schultz. Signed him a couple seasons ago on a 1 year deal. Re-signed him last half season. He's been good for them. And linebacker Aziz Al Shir. They brought another guy they brought in last offseason, reunited Mika Ryan too, had a good year. He gets suspended midway through it after a pretty bad looking hit on Trevor Lawrence late in the season. Yeah, but he's been good for them. So that's it for them. Now we got one of their division rivals. Got Indianapolis Colts. A guy that only spent one season there, but he did have a good season. Help him get to the playoffs. Got QB Philip Rivers. He only spent one season there, a couple seasons, but yep, them like he's only like yeah, there was last year or whatever, right? But they make playoffs. But yeah, he helped them get a consistent quarterback play for one season. The only time they really had it since Andrew Luck retired. Great year, helped them get in the playoffs. Yeah, so yeah, he had 369 completions on 543 attempts. That's 4,169 yards, 24 TDs, 11 INTs. So yeah, he was great there. Only in the playoffs. A couple honorable mentions for them are cornerback Stephon Gilmore. He was good for them for, I believe, 1 year, but just didn't do much. He wasn't defensive player of the year. He was for the Patriots. And TB Gardner Minshew. So yeah, he helped them almost get to the playoffs after Anthony Richardson got injured last in his rookie year. It's great for them. So yeah, and then that's it for them. Now we got another division, another one of their Texans Coast Division rivals. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Guy who was somehow some league, even though he's almost 40. Got the Jags with edge rusher slash defensive tackle. He was running the edge when he was there, but he's defensive tackle now. Plays Campbell. Only spent a few seasons there, but he helped them have like a great year. Helped them get this AFC Championship game in his first season there. Great, yeah, a great time there. So stats wise, 195 total tackles, 137 total, 21 and a half sacks, 6 forced fumbles, and 6 pass deflections. So he had a good few seasons there. He's a great leader in that defense. So yeah, a couple of mentions are linebacker Joe Schobert. He was all right, but he wasn't great. And tight end Evan Ingram. They recently released him and he signed the Broncos. We had a good couple seasons there. Then guard Brandon Sheriff, guy who just is a free agent. He had some good seasons there. Last season was a little bit on decline, but he is in his mid 30s. It's not a huge surprise, but he did have some good time there. So yeah, and that's it for them. Staying on the defense for the Kansas City Chiefs, we got safety Tyron Matthew. He spent 2019 through 2021 with them. Had some great seasons there. He helped them win a Super Bowl. helped them turn around their defense because the year before he went there, their defense was awful. That was the main reason why. In Patrick Mahomes' first starting season, he didn't make the Super Bowl. So yeah, he had great seasons there. He's now with the Saints. He had 213 total tackles, 172 solo, 3 sacks, 13 interceptions, and 27 pass deflections. So yeah, it was great for them. Good leader, helped them win Super Bowl. So yeah, our mentions are I'm a guy that replaced him Kansas City because once Matthew left, they got Reed in off season. Good few seasons. Reed is now a teammate with Matthew in New Orleans. So that's kind of funny. Defensive guard Joe Tooney. He had some great years with them. Um, he got traded recently to the Bears. It's just pretty expensive contract as part of it. And then linebacker Drew Tankel. We got the third. So yeah, it was great. It was good. He's still with them. It was good for a little bit. He's been good for them. I mean, so then running back Derek McKinnon. They've got he was good. He was never the main starter. Like he was kind of the backup for most of it, but he was a good depth guy. They would bring him in every once in a while. And he was good for them. So yeah, tackle Mitchell Schwartz. He retired after he left there. Yeah, he was good for them for a while. Helped them win a Super Bowl. He did like part of the reason like he definitely. I'm not saying they would have won it if he played in that Super Bowl against the Buccaneers, but he definitely would have helped to have better protection. He started. The main reason they lost that game was because they had terrible protection from Mahomes, and he could have helped if he was healthy, but he wasn't. So now let's go back to NFC. We got the Rams with tackle Andrew Whitworth. So yeah, he spent 2017 through 2021 with yeah, he was great for them. Um, I didn't. He was the only lineman, I believe, is the main guy in this list. He was great for them. He had one All Pro, one Pro Bowl, 71 total starts, and his last season he helped them win a Super Bowl. And like he was great for them, great leader. So yeah, they didn't have much for raises signs like good ones, just because a lot of their top current players are very either they drafted them, so they can't do that, or traded them, can't do that either. So yeah, like Puka Nacua drafted, Matthew Stafford traded. A lot of their starters on defenses. Jake Woods drafted. It's like only so many, so I've figured I put in guy got decent for him for a little bit. Marcus receiver. He'll do it for ton from, but he was all right. So now let's go back to the AFC. We got the Chargers with running back J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, he only spent one. He's only spent one season with them. He might come back. Probably not because they did get Najee Harris, but he's still free agent. So maybe. Yeah, like he was great for them before he got injured. Sadly, because he seems to be always injured. So yeah, stats wise, in 13 games played, he had 195 carries, 905 yards, 9 TDs, 32 catches for 153 receiving yards. So yeah, he only played 13 in that. So like, if he played all season, he would have got over 1,000 rushing yards. And they did use Skills Edwards a little bit before he got injured. Honor mentions if I was including this list like guys who were UDFA's as signings, I guess cool that as like hey, I'm cool in this. Austin Eckler usually would have been no offense to Evans, like Eckler had a lot of good years because he was a UDFA. I'm just not doing that in this list, so I didn't include it. And I just put him on mention because he was still technically signing. And center Corey Linsley had a few good years with them before he had to retire due to injury, I believe. Yeah, it's good for them. Let's go to the division rivals. We get the Las Vegas Raiders. With our receiver, Jacoby Myers. Yeah, it's been a couple seasons for them so far. He's been good. That's why he's put up 158 catches, 1,834 receiving yards, and 12 receiving TDs. He also has 2 rushing TDs and put his rushing yards just because he's barely done any rushing yards. That's very good place, 2 rushing touchdowns. It's good for them on their view, like outside of Brock Powers actually going this year. He's their number 2 weapon as of now. They could actually sign somebody. Well, he's a number 2 weapon. He's been a great signing. I mentioned Danny Carlson. They brought him in after the Vikings released him. He's one of the best kickers in the league. I just didn't. I tried to avoid teamers. So I didn't put him. And then linebacker Robert Spillane has been good. He had some good seasons with them. Yeah. Next, our AFC team, we got the Dolphins. We're still on offense. We got our running back though. We got Raheem Mostert. Yeah. He came over. He came with Mike McDaniel from San Francisco. It's good years. They did release him, and now he is a Raider. Speaking of the Raiders, yeah, stats wise, he had 475 carries, 2,181 yards, rushing yards, 23 rushing touchdowns. He also had 75 receiving catches, 578 rushing yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. He had a great couple seasons. He did deal with some injuries last season, and he got beat out by Devon A-Chain. So yeah, he had a great year. His not this last season, season four, he had a ton of touchdowns. Honorable mention wise, tight end John Smith. He had a good 1 year first season with them. He is still under contract. We'll see what he does that season with them. And tackle Teron Armstead. He's been good when healthy for them. Problem is, he just never seems to be healthy. Like if he, so, and he was pretty expensive contract. It seems like he always deals with injuries. So yeah, that's it for the Dolphins. Now let's go back to NFC. We got first quarterback in a while, and the Minnesota Vikings with QB Sam Darnold. They made a lot of good assignments this last offseason. Like those part, I went Darnold because he helped them a big part in the game, 14 wins, and um, he was a quarterback on a super cheap deal. He got, I believe he was on 1 year, $10 million deal. Great signing, great stats. He did struggle the past 2 games. He's been still a good year. So yeah, stats wise, he had 361 completions, 545 attempts for 4,319 yards, 25 TDs, 12 receptions, and one rushing touchdown. So he had a great year. Mention wise, they got Jonathan Grenard, edge. He is still with them for probably a few more seasons, so maybe eventually. And our edge was Ankle and our guy that brought in last season. Great year there. Him and Grenard were a great duo last season. The corner, Byron Murphy, he was really signed a 2 year deal. They re signed him this offseason. It's been good for them. The cornerback, Patrick Pearson, is good for them a couple seasons. He had, I think, 6 interceptions last season. Now he's kind of fell off when he was Steelers. And our second and I believe last UDFA signing linebacker, Ivan Pace Jr. Same thing as Eckler, but he's been good for them. And running back Aaron Jones, and our guy they signed last season. He had one good year. He's back for another 2 seasons. And our QB, Kirk Cousins. So yeah, like I consider doing him just because there's value, but he never had 14 wins. He only made it to the playoffs with Vikings once. He only got one playoff win. Arnold did better than him in one season, and Kirk had 6. And Kirk was always had to pay like Kirk's lowest he got paid a year was 28 million, 18 million more than Darnold in 1 year. So that was part of it too. But Kirk did have some good seasons for the Vikings. Defensive tackle Harrison Phillips, he's been good for them for years. Another guy they signed last season, Minnesota native linebacker Blake Cashman. He had a good year with them too. Yeah. Next, we got a guy that spent one season in the Vikings last season. Got Patriots to corner Stefan Gilmore. Yeah, I spent 2017 to 2020 there. I didn't put in the stats, but he did win Defensive Player of the Year with them. So yeah, he had a great few seasons with them. Big part of shutting down the Rams in that Super Bowl. So yeah, stats wise, 185 total tackles, 161 solo, 1 sack, 3 forced fumbles, 11 INTs, and 52 pass deflections. So yeah, it was great for them for a few years. So yeah, and then honor mentions wise, tight end Hunter Henry. It's been a good weapon for them for a few years. Our receiver Chris Hogan. That was a long ago signing, but he had some good seasons with them. He was a good weapon for Brady for 3 Super Bowls. Tackle Trent Brown. Yeah, he had great. He had some great. He had a few great seasons with them. And outside linebacker Matthew Judon. Another guy had great seasons. Just with Gilmore, just partially just because that defensive player of the year really helped him in that. So yeah, and safety Jabril Papa is still only him and Henry are still only guys on this list that are still with them. Peppers, he was a great sign away from the Giants a couple of years ago, and he's been great for them. So now let's go back to NFC. We got the New Orleans Saints with linebacker Demario Davis. So yeah, like he was had some decent seasons before he came Saints, but then he went to Saints and he's been great for them for a long time now. He's got him 2018. He's still with them. So yeah, so far he's had 811 total tackles, 598 solo, 31 sacks, three forced fumbles, three INTs, and 45 pass deflections. So he has some great stats. He's had been a great leader, still with them. Yeah. Honorable mention wise, got edge rusher Trace Young. Um, environmental 1 year deal last offseason. He had a great season with them. D lineman Colin Sanders. He's been good for them for a little bit. And safety Tyron Matthew. He was on the Chiefs one. Called it down here. I didn't, but yeah, he's good. He's been good for them too. So yeah, then we got the New York Giants with another linebacker. We got them with Bobby Okereke. Been a few seasons for them. Um, yeah, as you can see in our mentions, wasn't a huge amount to choose from. Like a lot of their top guys, a lot of their few good players were either they traded for or drafted them. So there wasn't a huge amount to choose from. No offense to Freaky. He's been good for them, but yeah. So yes, that's why I see it's had 242 total tackles, 139 solo, 4.5 sacks, 7 forced fumbles, 2 INTs, and 13 pass deflections. So he's been good for them. We'll see how he does in the next season. More mentions got QB Drew Lock. Well, I mean, he didn't really do much from that season, but hey, he did help eliminate the Colts from the playoffs. So it kind of gives you a great game there. So I kind of figured put him in corner Adoree Jackson. So he had a few good seasons for them, but nothing great or anything. So yeah, then got the other New York team next. Got third straight linebacker. We got C.J. Mosley. So, yeah, he did spend a lot of seasons there. He did get released recently, but he did deal with injuries in some years, so he wasn't. Not every season he played all 16 or 17 games. His stats wise, he had 503 total tackles, 299 solo, 3.5 sacks, three forced fumbles, 18 pass deflections, and three interceptions. He had some good years. He's a great cap leader of that defense. Yeah, honorable mentions tight end Tyler Conklin. He is currently free agent, so we'll see. Maybe he comes back. Yeah, he had some good seasons. Corner DJ Reed. Um, yeah, like I could have put him in the main spot, but hey, like if he was their great number one for the years he was there, maybe he was a great number two. Don't get me wrong. He was also number two corner, but he had some good years. He left for the Lions and center Connor McGovern. Some decent years there. So yeah, that's it for the Jets. We're done with the New York teams, but we got Eagles with the guy that the Giants are for Brandon Locke. Got the Eagles running back Saquon Barkley. Yeah, so when he spent one season with them so far, he had a really good year for them. Yeah, like no offense to all these other guys, but it was really between it was between him, some other guys, but one of the other guys was Zach Bond. Like those are they did a really good offseason last season for reasons. And Mackay Becton, but I wasn't really consider him just because of some of the other guys they had. Yeah, stats wise, he had 345 carries, 2,005 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns. He also had 33 catches, 278 receiving yards, and two receiving touchdowns. He had a really good year. And one of the few running backs in NFL history to hit 2,000 rushing yards. Doesn't have that great offensive line in front of him, but hey, he still had to do all those yards. So good on him. He had a really good year. Then you got a few honorable mentions as you see. First, you got linebacker Zach Bond, another guy they signed last offseason. A great season for them so far. They ended up signing him. He was in defensive player consideration. He had a good year. And guard Brandon Brooks. He's been retired for a few years, but he had some really good seasons for them. They brought him up for the Texans. And running back LeGarrette Blount. Yeah, he was really big factor in them. Like he was a big part of that running back committee with their first Super Bowl. and they won it. Yeah, it was good for them. QB Nick Foles, as considered put him in here, but it's just he didn't do a ton. But hey, he did help them win the Super Bowl, and he was a Super Bowl MVP. Then the next season helped them get the playoffs. But he was good for them after they brought him back. After they originally drafted him. And edge rusher Chris Long, and our guy that was a big part of them winning their first Super Bowl. That's never Super Bowl though. So it was not much. An offensive tackle Javon Hargrave in some good seasons for them. Helped them get to the Super Bowl where they lost to the Chiefs. They did lose it, but he was a good player on that team. Then edge rusher Hassan Reddick. Our guy had some good seasons for them before he left last offseason. Yeah, he was good. And then guard Mekhi Becton, another guy they signed last offseason. A great year. And then now he signed a 2-year deal with the Chargers, but he was a good alignment for them. So yeah. Now we're back to the AFC. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers with another linebacker. We got Patrick Queen. Um, yeah, it wasn't a huge amount to choose from. Lies. I didn't put how long he was there. He's only been there 1 season now. So, yeah. Yes, that's why it's in a single season so far. He put up 129 total tackles, 65 solo, 1 sack, 2 forced fumbles, and 7 pass deflections. So he had a good year. Wasn't super on the sign last season just because he had Roquan Smith is next to him in Baltimore for a little bit. So I feel like that might have part of it, but he still had a good year. Good on him. Or mentioned Scott, our linebacker. They signed Cole Holcomb. Yeah, it's been good for them. Then guard Isaac Salamalu. Got him from the Eagles a few seasons ago. It's been good for them. Still have him. He's getting a little up there, so still much longer he's good for. But yeah, another guard, James Daniels. It was all right for them, but he wasn't that good. He was still some injuries. And tight end Eric Ebron spent 2 seasons with them before they got Pat Farmouth. He was all right for them. And QB Russell Wilson. I really consider putting him on there, but maybe if they end up re-signing him, but I didn't do him. So yeah, that's it for the Steelers. Back to NFC, got our quarterback, got QB Geno Smith. He technically was with them from 2019 to 2024, but he barely started his first couple seasons because he was behind Russell Wilson. So it's that like if you look at his gestures from that standpoint, like his that whole time, doesn't these aren't that great stats. But if considering he only started for 3 seasons, those stats look better. But yeah, stats wise, he had 1,129 completions on 1,649 attempts, 12,961 yards, 76 TDs, 35 INTs, and 5 rushing touchdowns. Yeah, like his first season starting for them, he helped surprise a lot of people by helping them make the playoffs where nobody thought they would after trading us. Then he had a couple good seasons, his last couple seasons. Then they traded him to the Raiders this offseason, but he was good for them a few seasons as a starter. And also edge rusher Draymond Jones. He was good for them for a little bit. Yeah, like he was a big part of them getting back to the playoffs and like a playoffs quarterback. So now to the division rival, the San Francisco 49ers, cornerback Charvarius Ward. Yeah, he spent 2022 to this last season of them, 2024. Yeah, like I'm sure they would have loved to re-sign him if it's just he didn't want to because of he had some family issues happen and like he lost his young daughter, stuff like that. So I understand him leaving, but he was a good player for a few seasons. Great number one corner there. So yeah, 197 total tackles, 154 solo, 2 forced fumbles, 6 INTs, and 41 pass deflections. So yeah, it was great for them. So yeah, now I mentioned fullback Kyle we use check. Could put honor mention is Javon Hargrave just partially up because he really spent one full season healthy there. This is a good season, but he was also a little he was wasn't he was a little pretty high big contract. He's check. He's still with them now. But yeah, he had some good. He's been having some good years with them as a fullback. That's it for them. Now let's go to the Buccaneers. Yeah, them's probably the greatest signing of this video. No offense to some of these other guys, but he was a quarterback. He helped them win the Super Bowl his first season there. Got the Buccaneers at QB, Tom Brady. So yeah, he had a really good 3 seasons with them. First season there helped him win the Super Bowl. Yeah, stats wise, he put up 1,376 completions, 2,062 attempts, 14,643 yards, 108 touchdowns, and 65 interceptions. Very good years. Helped him in the Super Bowl, which definitely helped. Honorable mentions, you got could be Ryan Fitzpatrick. Didn't really do a ton there. Just he was a cool guy, kind of fun to watch when he still played. So I put him there. Outside linebacker Shaquille Barrett. Is a great sign for him. Like if he was on a lot of these other teams, like if he had put up the stats with a lot of these other teams, and he was a sign for them, probably would bet on there because he was a great sign to Bucks. It's just they also had a really good signing in Tom Brady. So yeah, and then our QB Baker Mayfield. Not saying well, but maybe in a few years if he wins up in the Super Bowl, has some more good seasons for the Bucks. Maybe he beats up Brady. Just Brady didn't win that Super Bowl definitely helps him get it over these other guys. So next, you got the second last team, got the Tennessee Titans with linebacker Aziz Al-Shaair. Let's just one season with them. He had a great season. Wasn't too expensive, but brought him in for the Niners. So yeah, 163 total tackles, 84 solo, 2 sacks, and 4 pass deflections. He had a great one season for them. Yeah, honorable mentions, you got running back Tony Pollard. Maybe if he has another good season next season with them, maybe he beats out here. It's just Pollard. Also, was not one season with them, but he was good. He's had a good season for us. Then also got corner Sean Murphy Bunton, another guy only spent one season there, but he had a great season. Joseph Pullman on Winston's. And then center Ben Jones. Finally got for times I didn't spend only one season for them, but I tried to stay from North lineman just because there was only so much I could show, so I didn't put them there. Yeah, now our last team are the Washington Commanders with corner Kendall Fuller. So yeah, he had a great few seasons for them. Yes, that's why I see 258 full tackles, 193 solo, 1 sack, 10 INTs, had 56 pass deflections. Yeah, he left just before they started being really good again. Yeah, he had good seasons. I mentioned got a few guys that they signed last offseason. Got running back Austin Eckler, and good one season for them, but he was also was the main starter because they had a guy in that picture right there, Brian Robinson. He had one season. And linebacker Bobby Wagner, really earned the defense. Still good linebacker, somehow at his age, but a good season. And he's back for another year. Tight end Zach Ertz, another veteran, great leader, great guy. Daniels we just look to being a great leader. Running back Adrian Peterson. He left them a while ago now, but he had some good seasons there before he left. And in our corner, William Jackson. Yeah, he had some good seasons for him as well. So guys, that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good one.